everybody. Welcome into the Friday Five. Chip Walters here from Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates. And want to remind you right off the bat, if you'd like to go to my website, choosechip.net. All kinds of good information there. And today is a very relevant topic that we're going to talk about because here in Tennessee, things are going to start to open back up. As a matter of fact, state parks are opening back up today. We're going to have, as May 1st gets here, which is next Friday, we're going to have more and more businesses start to open back up. And I'm old enough to have resources all over the country, and I'm glad that I've got this one who's on the other side with me. That's Jen Threlkeld. She works for a company called Clean Harbors, and she is an environmental services expert. And Jen, what does that mean?
Really what that means is that we're the company that makes sure everything that needs to be managed for the environment is managed properly. Anything that cannot go down the drain, anything that cannot go into landfill, we collect it, we process it, and we make sure that nothing's going to come back around and haunt us later on. This is an immediate impact.
Yep. And so right now, everybody is ultra sensitive to cleanliness and that kind of thing with the coronavirus and COVID-19 going on. With things starting to open back up, I want to focus today on a couple of different things, and that is small businesses. We have so many proprietorships, small businesses, whether it's restaurants, retail stores, and a lot of offices that have employees that come in. Could be, accounting and insurance offices, those kind of things. First of all, if you are running one of those businesses, what do those people need to prioritize as they get set to open back up here in the next week?
Okay, good question. So there are a couple of things to this, kind of a bulleted approach for your priorities. The first thing is that you need to open up all lines of communication, because you can not only be instructing your employees, because they need to see you as the thought leader in this. They need to know that you're setting cleaning standards. They need to know that they are being protected when they go back to work, because everyone that comes into your shop or your business is going to be nervous. They need to be there. There's something they need, there's something they want, and they're going to take that home with them. So try and communicate as much as you can to your employees, whether that means putting a sign on the front door that you're going to be helping take care of your friend, your family, your friends, your customers, anybody that's going to be coming into that business, but also communicate to your supply chain. Let any partners know that are going to be dropping boxes off, or if they come into your store, try and do contactless deliveries if you can, but it's all about communication. Everyone needs to be on the same page with this, whether you're saying 6 feet apart or 20 feet apart, just agree on it. And so you'll want to have a maintenance schedule. You're going to communicate with your employees that the first thing you should do when you walk in the morning is clean. The CDC, the World Health Organization, they are saying these things for a reason. You're going to want to clean. Get that maintenance schedule so that every hour you're going to have an employee running through that store at the very least and wiping down all high-touch surfaces. And so you'll see on the CDC website it's your doorknobs, it's light switches, but as a retailer or as maybe an insurance office, you need to think about other things such as the pin on that desk if somebody's going to pick it up and be signing anything, or the price tag if somebody's going to grab that and turn it and look at that bottle. So you need to go one step further to protect yourselves, your employees, your families when you go home at the end of the day. And then also, if you can, don't bring 100% of your employees into the office. If you can survive with 2 admins that stay home, invest in that technology. Get them one more computer screen so that they can work from home, do their job 100% effectively for the cost of one computer screen, $80 maybe, to make sure that 2 more people can't come in and they can do it remote.
Yeah. So this is going to be a rolling build back across the board, across the country. There are a lot of words that have been thrown out, contagion, pandemic, things like that. But when we get to what you guys do and what these business owners need to know, what's the difference between disinfection and decontamination?
Okay, this is big because you're going to see these words over and over and over again. You're going to try and research, you're going to try and be prepared. And thank you so much for that in advance. You are going to put the work in, and you are the reason why we'll be able to open up slowly and at a safe pace, because at the end of the day, no matter what priorities there are, there's always one overarching one, that's safety. So when you're reading all these websites and you're trying to prepare to keep everyone safe, you're going to see the words disinfection and decontamination. over and over and over again. And if you talk to a cleaning company to come in, they're going to use those words. And I'm not sure every company understands the difference. So don't think it's on you. It's on everyone out there. It's this mass misunderstanding at this point. But what we need to know is that disinfection is what a cleaning company does on this end. Decontamination is where you see people dressed up in spacesuits and they're going all out. So disinfection, that is being recommended right now if you have not had one confirmed case of COVID-19 enter into your perimeter. And I want to say perimeter because it's not just within your office building of this. It's if anybody has walked by it, if it's you've had packages dropped off. So I'm saying perimeter to give a loose understanding that can be more than just the square footage of your building. But you'll need to disinfect no matter what. That's the bare minimum. So disinfection means that you're going in, assuming no COVID-19 has entered into your building, no spores are still active. If you haven't researched this yet, then you can see that the different spores live a very different timeline on different surfaces. So if you've been fortunate enough to not have anyone inside of your building for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there are no active spores in there. There's no living COVID-19, and there hasn't been a carrier. That means you need this wild spacesuit decontamination. Disinfection can work. Disinfection can be what you need. There's a huge cost difference, a huge parameter difference. The requirements are so different. So disinfection, if nobody's been in there, if it's been sealed off, you can get by with that. And by get by with that, I mean a company, a certified company can come in and wipe down all high touch surfaces. They can do fogging and misting. They can use electrostatic sprayers, but it can be a very quick job. And in most small businesses, that could be a 3-hour in and out and you're completely disinfected. What decontamination is, that's the preferred route if you have had a COVID-19 case or human being in that area. And as we know, it can be animals as well. So if you have a cat that hangs around your shop, you might also want to consider decontamination. But the difference here is that one has actively been exposed to COVID-19 and the other has not. What you will absolutely need out of this, and like the cleaning provider, well, that they have the appropriate PPE on to protect themselves while they're doing the job.
Now, if you're a small business owner, obviously, while safety is the overarching piece here, we're also, as a small business owner, looking at, okay, what are my expenses looking like? How much of this can I do by myself? And if I need to bring in a company, how do I go about selecting one?
Yes. Okay. So when you're picking a company and knowing that expenses matter, they always matter, and now more than ever, when you're trying to think, okay, I can disinfect by myself. Okay, you can disinfect by yourself if you have the training for infectious disease, if you have the right materials. It's not every disinfectant. You want to follow the CDC listing. You want to see and make sure that there is a little virus-side listing on the bottle, because this is a virus. It could have sat there long enough that it extended and ran through its half-life, but you still need something that can approach and impact the virus. So it's not every disinfectant. You need to read the rules, regulations. So when you're picking a provider, whether they're going to be disinfecting or decontaminating, you want to make sure that they are properly trained, because anybody right now can go to Home Depot or to Lowe's and they can try and rent foggers. That, if you don't know what a fogger is, it's pretty much just like a misting machine with static charged ions that are going to make contact with all these surfaces and clean them for you. Well, if anybody can get their hands on them, then that means anybody can do it and they might not be certified. So just make sure that if the company, just kind of check their track record, make sure that they've ever done any kind of cleanup like this before, because we've had SARS, we've had other concerns with this element. Or if this is a company that happens to do, I don't even know the right way to phrase this, healthcare. Let's go with healthcare cleanup. Then the odds are very, very high. If they've worked with hospitals before, then that's anybody that's worked with hospitals before you can feel good about. But just definitely check their certifications, because you will want somebody in there that wears the proper PPE so that they do not take something from your location to anywhere else. Or they're also certified enough that they won't bring anything to your location from anywhere else. So I mean, it's a twofold, it's a very big trade-off there. And you want to make sure that they are, besides being certified, that they have the right disinfectants on hand. So, I mean, any training, any proper certifications will get them there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a lot of great information, and you know, you brought up the CDC website a good bit. There's a lot of information there that people can educate themselves with as we start the reopening of our economy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would refer you and everyone that owns a small business to go check that site every single day and check it after, even after you open your doors. This is a moving target. We are learning more every single day, every single week as this moves forward. So the more information we have, the more information you can have to build resources and be safer for your employees and your customers.
Yeah. Well, one of the great global companies that can help you with this is Clean Harbors, and Jen Threlkeld, who is a Middle Tennessee grad, played soccer here, and always try to connect with her whenever we're down in the great state of Texas, and she comes out and follows her Blue Raiders there. Jen, thanks so much for your time today and really great information.
Hey, thank you for having me on, and Raiders for life.
That's right, exactly. So, folks, Jen Threlkeld, Global Clean Harbors is her company. You can go to their website, my website, choosechip.net. As we continue, don't forget my virtual buying program. If you can do everything pretty much virtually, from meetings to showings to document signings, I've got it all on my website at choosechip.net. Have a safe weekend, folks, and we'll be back with you next week. Mayor Shane McFarland will be joining us as he talks about the reopening of Murfreesboro. So have a good weekend.